Hello everyone, my name is Mike on a Bike and welcome to another video of Grid Legends. Today we'll be racing around Havana El Capitolio in the Renault Clio Cup car. And as most people in the car community would say, it is better to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. And since Havana is a street circuit, we're going to opt for a slightly short gear ratio to help us get out of those corners a little bit faster. And I typically leave the brake bias slightly forward just to give us that extra bit of stopping power in a straight line in case we have to dive bomb anybody. And on this occasion, we'll be starting smack dab right in the middle of the pack. We'll be starting 11th place out of 22, which should be cause for absolute carnage going into turn 1. And starting at the beginning of this race, we know that we have two AI opponents directly in front of us, which shouldn't be too hard to get ahead of. Now, in most of my experiences in racing online and Grid Legends, the AI are typically set to a relatively easy difficulty. It's very rare to actually see them at legendary difficulty. Now, into turn 1, we get absolutely dive bombed. And luckily, it wasn't hard enough that we hit the wall too hard, but we still get a pretty solid exit and past the remaining AI that were still ahead of us in this race. And around turns 2, 3, and 4, really trying to maximize track width as we want to try and get as much momentum to go through these corners into the big braking zone at turn 5 after the chicane. And as we approach turn 5, we're going to be jumping up onto the curb and trying to throw it in as early as possible. However, I missed my mark on that account. And then it's a very quick dash into turn 6. I had hoped that somebody had gone wide here, but it wasn't the case. They actually got a better exit than I did. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try and stick to the slipstream. Thankfully, Dicey there getting blocked, which allows us to get the run up onto turn 1. And Dicey is a little bit wide as we go side by side towards turn 2. And Dicey gets a little bit of a better exit than I do and slightly pulls ahead there, but we have the inside line, which we can't quite capitalize on because we were forced narrow. So we're going to have to sit back and be a little bit patient here and hope that Dicey makes a mistake. And onto the back straight, heading towards turn 5 with a massive braking zone. This is quite peculiar as Dicey completely yeets his vehicle off of the ground as we continue towards turn 6, which gives us a great exit towards the final corner. As Dicey absolutely aims for the wall and misses, we make that pass happen on a switchback. And now on to the start-finish straight for the third time. We're going to position ourselves right along the inside of the next turn as Bully outbrakes himself just a little bit, going slightly wide through the exit of this next corner. And as we slowly pull away, we can see right there in the rearview mirror that Dicey is more or less going to begin to fight for that position. And as we turn our attention to the vehicles ahead, we can see that they are fighting pretty hard themselves. And as we make our way onto the back straight, once again, we make sure that we're tucked in nice and tight into a slipstream until this happens. Yes, that's right, you saw it. 2 wheels in the air, as we nearly unalive ourselves out of the race, as referee dive bombs it up the inside, and gets a fairly decent run for that kind of a stunt, and we are going side by side, down the start-finish straight and into the first corner, as we take a defensive line in hopes that they make a mistake on the outside, and we get a little bit of touch and go there, as we make that defensive move stick. And as we can see in the rearview mirror as well, we've got quite a few vehicles battling for position right behind us. And once again, our attention turns to the vehicle up ahead. At this point, we try to keep our heads down, stay focused. This is the penultimate lap. We're almost onto the final lap. There isn't very much left to go, and the pressure is very high. And coming around turn 5, we can see on the minimap there that there's a little bit of traffic coming up ahead, and hopefully that slows Luna down a tiny bit as she scrubs against the wall. And on our way down to complete the lap, we seem to get a much better run, and towards turn 1 we go. Luna goes a little bit wide there, and this is just enough to place us just along the rear bumper as they take a defensive line. And into turn 2, I wasn't really going to go for a move, not here anyway, because like I said earlier, there was a little bit of traffic coming up ahead, one in the form of AI and another player. And it's at this point where I kind of prayed for a miracle, and it kind of happened as Luna completely gets absolutely wall squashed, and we can see back there Dicey has also followed us through, and onto the final start-finish straight for the very last time. That's P2. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did making it and racing in it. Let me know in the comments what you guys' favorite car class is and what you prefer racing. And thank you so much especially for sticking around until this long in the video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or night. Until next time, keep the rubber side down.